I literally turned to ChatGPT and I was like, this is how I'm feeling. I feel very anxious. I feel obsessive. I feel like stir crazy, like, because I was just feeling so irrational.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why. ChatGPT said, girl, let me hold your hand when I say this. You have anxious attachment.
Did you not know that you had this before?
No, I hadn't heard of it before.
Really?
I didn't know what it was.
Hey guys, it's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Broke Therapy. And guess the fuck what? Jessica Clarke is finally back on the fucking podcast. If you've been listening for a while or you're new here, Jess is a Cancer and such a lover girl, and we definitely have followed her journey of finding love and dating. And the last time she was on the podcast, which was literally in February, and it was the first episode we dropped this year, she announced that she was finally in a relationship. And that was a big deal because we know that Jess has been looking for a husband. She's been looking for a relationship. So I was super excited for her. On this week's episode, we caught up on what the last few months has been like for her. We talked about her anxious attachment style, what she's been working through, and of course, I just needed to know, are her and her man still together? And did she fall into the same patterns again? Stay tuned to find out. If you love the podcast, spread the word, spread the love, like, comment, and feel free to send any questions or emails to broketherapy.com to be featured on the pod and for us to read your stories and answer any questions you may have. Now, on to the episode after the break. Broke Girl Therapy.
Been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope pod to step two. Step. She's back.
Ay. And I mean, like, I've been missing you on the pod, but I also, like, don't want to force you because you've expressed that you, like, needed some time away. Yeah. So, but you're back. Like, you hit me up, you're like, I'm ready, bitch. And I was like, damn, 6 months later, but let's do it. But I respect it, you know? Like, I was really happy that you were like, look, I need a moment, you know? Because I never want to force you to, like, come on here because you share so much of yourself and, like, you know, your dating life and stuff like that. Like, I respect if you ever just want to be like, I'm not really in the mood to share.
Yeah, exactly. You know? I was very, and it wasn't just the pod. I stepped away from everything. People weren't seeing me as much. Like, I just was I was in Jessica bag.
And it was like, it was so hard to see you, like, so sad because you've always just been such a positive person.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was sad when we lived together and I, like, lost my job and I was just, like, so anxious and trying to find any way to make money and, like, all these things. And I remember you just told me, like, and it stuck with me and honestly kind of changed my life. That you were just like, everything will be fine. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't that verbatim, but you said something I can't remember. But, like, basically in the way it was like, everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Like,
everything always works out for our good, for sure. Yeah.
And I can't control everything, too. That's things like, you're doing everything you can right now, but, like, there's only so much you can do. So you just have to, like, trust it. And I felt like that was, like, the reassurance that I needed at that time. And I feel like that's helped me to just, like I think about that moment all the time. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think everyone this year has just been difficult for not only me, but a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think as a Christian, it's a bit more, I wouldn't say, there's a lot of mindset shifting that I've had to do because having faith in God, but also having the reality in front of you, like, you felt like you were, even though when you lost your job, you were, like, hustling, working. And I just felt like God was like, this is not the time to hustle. Like, you have to, like, this is the time. You just need to relax. But then as humans with real bills, we're like, how can I relax when I don't, like, it was the moment where I was like, Lord, if you don't step in, I'm finna crash out. It was when my unemployment ran out, which I didn't even know happened.
And happened to Brian too. And
I was like, so wait, what do you mean? It, like, runs out. What's the why? It just, and I was like, wait, do I have to, like, reapply though? Like, girl, you can reapply in 6 months. I'm like,
yeah, they do it now because before it was like you would have that unemployment for at least a year.
And I thought it, like,
and now it's like what, 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was, like, renewed.
No.
But it was like 6 months in this market, in this job. People have
in
been,
this economy?
Girl, like, people have been out of work for, and I'm grateful because Sorry, my allergies. I'm grateful because I've had, again, God is good. Like every time I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this, literally someone would be like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? Hey, here's like, out of nowhere, everything was taken care of. And so God didn't like just leave me high and dry and was like, hey, figure it out. But he definitely made a way. But I think it was an exercise of faith for me that I was going through, and patience, which I am a very impatient person. I want it now. And also,
as we all are in this day and age, and everything's so quick.
It was difficult to wrap my head around. I've had a successful career. I have my MBA. I'm a master's in business. Like, I should be employable.
Right.
But you're doing all these applications. You're not hearing anything back, and no one wants to pay you anymore. Like, the pay is ridiculous. You live in California, and I also do recognize my privilege. Like, I have amazing parents. I have a great ecosystem of people that can, like, I'll never be homeless.
Right.
Like, this is not a possibility. I'll come live with Steph. Like,
right. There's always somebody who got you.
There's always someone that has me. And there's some people that don't have those options, that don't have a unit to support them in any capacity. So I'm grateful, but that also doesn't demise the anxiety and that you feel, and having to wake up every day and choosing to apply for jobs, choosing to figure out a way to make life work and worth, waking up and finding something to be excited about, going to the gym. Like, life does not stop because, like, you're
finding a purpose to get up every single day. Like, work is given all of us a purpose to get up every single day. If it's not work, it's school, you know?
Exactly.
And so, like, when you don't have any of that and you are, like, in this transition phase, like, what's that purpose,
And that's why I kind of had to step away from not only this, but everything else, because the energy that I did have to give and to share and to nourish, it was going towards waking up in the morning and having a day and feeling like, okay, I did something productive today. That's where my energy had to go. And that's why. And it was difficult because it was like, girl, you ain't no punk. Like, figure it out. But it's just like, you have to be soft with yourself, especially in this time when there's so many things telling you, like, you're applying for jobs, you're not getting anything. You're like, am I just not good enough? Like, you're just, there's so many thoughts that you're already combating. And so, yeah, you just had to, it was my time to literally just be settled, to be in silo, to be isolated. But now we bet, there's a season for that, and there's a season to come back and to be better, because this is, and I also respect the pod and the craft, and I'm not about to come here and just be subpar,
Right.
I don't show up in anything in life subpar, especially in things that I care about, like this podcast. So if I do show up, I want to show up as my best self, even though I know you would take Jessica at 20%. I am as invested in, like, if I wouldn't do this for myself, why would I do that for other people? If I wouldn't show up and record a pod on my own podcast, if I had one, or, why would I do that for someone else? So, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But now we back.
But I'm glad you're back, and I feel like that's so relatable. And, I mean, Brian, just went through that, too, with not having a job. And, like, I know that you and I, like, both have, like, different viewpoints when it comes to, like, religion and, like, spirituality. Mm-hmm. But, like, I feel like I also, just in different terminology, like, also put, like, faith in, like, the universe, into, like, life. I was just like, I'm just trusting this process, and I feel like also, there's just a lot of things that always come aligned where I'm like, oh, even though this feels like I've been robbed of a good life that I thought I was supposed to have, it's actually preparing me for something, like, better and bigger, and I'm just not seeing it yet.
Yes.
But then you see it in, like, the small things where, like, like, your unemployment runs out, but then, like, something else kind of comes up, or, like, some opportunity or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, there's, for instance, like, the biggest thing I can think about on top of my head is, right when, like, Brian got laid off, I was, like, getting filled with so much, like, abundance and, like, opportunities.
Exactly.
Like, I'm telling you guys, like, this shit doesn't just, like, fly at me like that. Like, I don't just get opportunity. Like, but it was, like, for like the past couple of years, Brian was like taking care of me, paying the bills, and I was just trying to figure it out, like honing in on my craft.
Yeah.
And finally, like when I felt like I got to a good place and I was being blessed with all these things, Brian had that time to just like relax and like find something better. And then what happens? He did find something better, you know, but I think we all like need to take those moments. It's not just like a loss, but just like a reset, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely.
It feels like a loss. It feels like a rejection, but it's like actually a reset.
I was fine for the first few months, but then I think month 5 came and I was like, then month 6 came and I was like, all right, this is just actually not cute anymore. Yeah. And then that's when I went into hustle mode. I was like, and again, in this time, I found the most comfort in really studying like the Bible and praying and stuff like that. Like, it was not easy to do because I was like, where are you, God? Like, nothing is happening. You're like, you know?
I'm not feeling you.
I'm
right
literally.
now.
I was like, I don't like. I know what I'm supposed to believe, but what I'm looking at is not reflective of it. But then I got the idea to literally I woke up one random day in Atlanta, and I was like, I'm gonna start a charcuterie company. Did I tell you I started a charcuterie company?
No, what the fuck? We haven't really spoken.
Oh my gosh,
girl,
really I have to show you pictures.
There's a lot of things you have not told me. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, I started a charcuterie company, and it was crazy because I had never done a charcuterie a day in my life. I don't know why I decided that.
You're just
but
like,
I was
let's do it. Yeah.
The white girls are doing it. They're making hella money. Let me start to figure this out. So I like learned stuff. I got business license. I got my health and safety.
Oh my god!
Like my food safety license. Yeah. And I was just like, okay,
you should do a charcuterie for my wedding. I'm not engaged.
She's pre-engaged.
I'm pre-engaged. I have a spreadsheet, but he has not proposed. But I'm just saying, like, we should have a
Honestly, I'll do anything for you.
Yeah. Stop. That's a white girl shit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm in my white girl. And so I started my own charcuterie company, and my dad was my first customer because another one.
Oh my god! Stop.
Yeah. So. And it was crazy because obviously I've done social media, but I was able to do my own website. I was able to use my
Jess,
skills.
why didn't you send me any of this?
I thought I told you.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. Damn.
It's okay. You're telling me now.
Yeah.
We're here now.
It's because I was saving it for the pod.
Okay. That's what it is. Yeah.
And so I made one. I just started doing like as I was practicing and just figuring things out. I was bringing them to like church and stuff because I just wanted to take pictures. And people were like, oh my God, this is so good. And then my dad gave me an opportunity to do a grazing table, which is basically like a whole table of charcuterie things, for a graduation. And he paid me for that. And it turned out so beautiful. And then after that, I was just getting clients. Yeah. People were just hitting me up like, literally word of mouth. My company wasn't even, it literally just went live at the beginning of this month. But I've already had people just hitting me up like, hey, I've had repeat customers.
Oh my God. What? If you guys want a charcuterie.
Yeah, it's called Winsacle Garden.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so my charcuterie company called Winsacle Garden, and it's based upon the street my grandma's an immigrant from Jamaica. We moved to England, to Nottingham, and the street she's always lived on is called Winsacle Garden. Aww. And it's always home for me. So I named the company that. And so, and that's another just testament to God just coming through. So I would run out of money and someone would hit me up random like, hey, someone told me that you do charcuteries. Can you just cater? Yeah. And I'm like, sure. It's like, there's the $200 just like that. $200 you didn't have instantly.
Like, thank you.
And these white people be sending you money quick.
Right.
I like that. They don't negotiate or nothing. They just be like, sure, girl, right, here's the funds. That's the price. It's the price.
Right.
And I have some orders coming up too. So yeah.
Hell yeah, bitch.
But I think that mentality also came out of I never want to be in a situation where I lose a job and I have nothing to own myself. Yeah. You know, like I always wanted to have. I didn't know it was going to be a charcuterie company, but I now know that if anything else fails, I have my business, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
That's how I feel about BGT, too. Like, there was a point where, like, I was honestly unemployed for, like, I think about a year. Like, I wasn't doing anything else but Brocal therapy. Right. But, like, it was nice that, like, it was keeping me busy, but I also was able to, like, make money from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So it gave me purpose. It gave me a reason to wake up in the morning and work on it.
And I also think there's something about, like, when you're bored, especially when you don't have a job to go to, you don't, whatever, like, you're literally bored, is when you come up with, like, ideas like this that you would have thought of when you're just going about your day having to, like,
known cheese and crackers would be so lucrative.
Right. But then, like, when you, like, actually sat down and you got, you know, you thought about it, you got creative, you had the time, like, those bored moments are so crucial because it gets you to, like, start being creative
exactly
you know?
And I think when you're working in the creative space, you're paid to be creative.
Yeah.
And so it is kind of it's not, I wouldn't say it's not obviously everything is naturally generated, but it doesn't come from your soul. It's provoked from something.
Yeah.
But when you like, for example, breakup therapy or you know, Winsacle Garden, it's something that's come from your creative inner being, you know?
Like, no one would,
it comes from a different place.
Right. Yeah. Okay, well, I love that. That's a great update, but we also have to talk about an update, like, because this is Brocal therapy, so we gotta get into it, girl.
I know I was really trying to extend talking about Jesus.
I know. You're like,
let me just
keep talking about the crackers.
If you guys want to order, winsaclegarden.com.
There you go. I'll have a link down below in the description. So you guys, and I'm obviously going to hire you for the wedding.
How many years have I been doing this? This is the first time I've ever had anything to promote.
Yeah.
But
at one point, we were going to do body butter and candles.
Oh, my
God. Los Feliz.
Honestly, we should still do that.
We should still do it because I've always, like, making body butter is actually something that I want to learn to do.
And yesterday was my birthday. We made perfumes. We could master that.
There we go. And then someone was like, "Oh my God, we should make candles." I was like, "I don't make candles."
She does.
I'm actually a pro at making
candles. One thing about you are an entrepreneur at heart.
I know, but sometimes I'm like, can I just pick up a craft and just do the craft without thinking, like, how can I make money from this?
That was it's so because yesterday was my birthday, and Steph came to my birthday party. I did a birthday dinner. Shout out to Pinterest. Honestly, Pinterest is one of the best apps known to man.
I love Pinterest.
If you use Pinterest and TikTok, there's nothing you cannot do in this here life.
And
so I did the whole table decor, and I was like, someone would do this and think to themselves, I should do this as a business. And I'm built that way, but I'm really not. Because, like, I also, like, let's be real. How long is that gonna?
Right. Yeah, because you can always think of anything, but it's all about, like, actually putting it into work and pursuing it and doing it, putting the effort.
But go ahead. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's get into it. It's not distracting me. So the last time you were on the podcast, you were literally here for the very first episode of coming back in 2025.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just I think in general, you've been on this podcast literally since the beginning. And you've been so open about
I have my whole
falling
life.
in love and, like, then not falling in love and then dealing with fuckboys and guys are not ready and whatever. Like, as we all do, right? Because that's just the name of the game. But the last time you were here, you finally met the love of your life and became
I never said that.
Roll the tapes. Just kidding.
I met a guy I really liked, yes.
Yeah. And you felt chosen.
I did.
Felt, you know, and you were exclusive.
I was.
I do have a footage of you being like, there's no one in this room hasn't heard this yet until now, but I'm saying it. I'm exclusive with somebody.
Yes.
Roll the tapes.
Okay. Relax on the tapes.
On the tapes. And
this is why listen, if you want your life documented, just know. This is the problem. I'm a very open person, but sometimes I feel like, well, Lord Jesus, maybe I shouldn't have been so. That picture of you is so nice. I'm so sorry. That red, oh my God,
I do love that red.
ADD, guys. Anyway, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, so it is now July.
That's crazy.
And we really haven't talked because we've just been busy, you know, like you've been going through what you're going through, and I've, you know, been going through what I'm going through, and we haven't really had like a moment to just like catch up.
Yeah,
we did here and there, but we didn't talk about this. So, are you still with him?
No.
You made us go through. You know, there's people.
How selfish! I went through this.
No, there's just people in the comments like, I am so happy for her.
I know. I was
like
so
people were rooting for you. I'm
kidding. We were rooting for you. Now this is roll the Tyra clip. So the answer is we are not. So okay. Listen, if you're new here, if you're new to this, you're not true to this. The OGs know how my life is.
I feel like you're a Cancer. You're a lover girl. You really fall hard, and you see hope in relationships. You know,
right. And it wasn't. We didn't. Okay, so let's go through it.
Let's just
get through it. So the last time I was here, I was in exclusive relationship. I think I did mention he was studying for a test, a really important certification. I think I did mention that.
Yeah.
And so that was a very difficult time for the relationship because he was a silo. And I obviously gave him his space.
A silo?
Yeah, just he was isolated. He was, in his bag studying. I'll tell the story and then I will tell about the feelings. And so on Valentine's Day, he got the results back. It didn't work out in his favor that time. And I think that made him kind of crash out in a way. Because he is there's a lot riding on him getting this certification. And so for him, I think the breakup was I need to lock in. Like I need to wipe my slate clean. I think within that he did say some things to me that were quite hurtful. And I think transparently, it was a time when I wasn't working. So I think a lot of the time, and I guess when it was happening, I was translating it as like, well, girl, like you don't have a job, like you're too invested in me, like like I need someone that's more independent. Like it just seems like you're. So there's like a lot of that kind of.
I have comments about this, but yes, continue.
A lot of that kind of conversation that was happening. I think there was a lot of comments that I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like it's not adding up. And so it was very hurtful because this guy, he was to this day the best guy I've ever dated, bar none.
Wow.
To this day.
Why? Why was he? Why?
He was thoughtful.
Okay.
He was the kind of guy, I think I said on the pod, like if I went over and I was wearing all black, he would be like, and he was wearing like blue and black, he would be like, let me change to all black so I can match you. He was kind to everyone around him. We enjoyed.
Why would he have to change to all black so he can match you?
So we can match. So it's cute, aesthetic.
Oh, okay.
Vibes.
Okay.
I didn't know I liked that. I like it.
Yeah, okay.
I think to me it was like thoughtful, you know.
Yeah.
I
was like, oh,
I kind of felt I felt like I could be walking around. It was just like there would just be like a fly buzzing in my head because I don't have to think about anything. Like I can literally just sit in my. I felt that was like the first time I could really sit in my feminine and just be taken care of. And he was very good at nurturing that. And he was very good at managing my emotions and listening to me and reflecting on the things I was saying. And he truly did listen. And we had fun together. We just it was healthy.
Right.
I really felt like but I was always feeling like there was going to be a rug pulled from underneath me. It felt too good to be true. I felt like I was almost acting in overdrive because instead of I was like trying to protect it, but I was overly protective of it. Again, this is hindsight.
How are you overly protective of it?
I was just like overthinking things. Like I was like, well, what if I do this? And I was trying to like control it so I can keep it. And I think that overcorrection was making me act not my natural self. And that's not something he was saying. It's just something I felt looking back, which was kind of stemmed from
trauma.
From trauma, literally from
you've
trauma.
Always like fallen in love and then be like, again, come back. Never mind, guys.
So the day before we broke up, we weren't really. I was acting normal to him. I was not like overly texting. I've never been like a triple texter. I've always been level-headed in my reaction, but inside, I am.
Woulda, woulda, shoulda.
I was like just going 10 minutes. So I literally turned to ChatGPT, and I was like, "This is how I'm feeling. I feel very anxious. I feel obsessive. I feel like stir crazy. Like, why am I feeling this way? Because this man didn't text me back." So like I was just, because I was just feeling so irrational.
Yeah.
And I didn't know why. ChatGPT said, "Girl, let me hold your hand when I say this. You have anxious attachment."
Did you not know that you had this before?
No, I hadn't heard of it before.
Really?
Mm-mm. I didn't know what it was.
Are you serious?
And I was like,
this has been.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was.
Wow.
Okay. It was because of that.
I'm so sorry I did not put you on like that.
You didn't.
If
you did, I probably would have been married today. So this is your fault.
I've had episodes about it. Maybe not with you. Maybe you should tune in.
Honestly.
Okay. I've had I've spoken of like professional. Okay.
Listen, Linda.
Yeah.
Let's not revert to the past. We're talking about the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I talked about it a ton.
Hey.
I was like,
hey.
I'm sorry.
I
feel like I really first figured it out was when I was with Morgan. Was when I really learned, because I remember I being like obsessive about it, like watching videos and reading up on it. And then Morgan made a comment saying like, "Oh, I don't really believe that type of shit. I think that shit's just like bullshit." And I was like, "Oh, because you are avoidant."
That makes sense.
You know?
Yeah, I didn't know about it. I never heard of it a day in my life. And so ChatGPT and I was like, "Tell me more. What is this thing you're calling me? Because you're about to get cussed out. Because why are you calling me names?" And it told me, and I was like, And I was like, "What books would you recommend?" And it recommended the Attached book. I think it's called Attached. Girl, I ate that book up in 24 God-given hours. And I was like, like it was almost like a light bulb went off in my head. And I was talking about this.
I'm like really pissed that I didn't put you on.
I was talking about attachment theory for months after that. I was telling everyone, I thought I had figured out the reason for life. And unlocking the reason why you are the way you are changes the whole game. I studied this thing so bad because I saw myself literally in a scenario in the book was literally the scenario I was going through, and I was like, "Damn,
Yeah,
I have work to do."
Yeah.
And so in my downtime, when I was away from the pod and everything, a part of that was researching that and searching within myself and how I would have approached it differently. And so it just made so much sense to me why I was acting the way I was acting. And so yeah, we broke up. I learned about attachment theory. We didn't communicate. We broke up. I cried to my dad that day. The next day I went to the gym and I moved on. Because to me, I was just like, I have work to do. Yeah. I get it. Like, I don't blame. The things you were saying were unnecessary, but I do see the part I played, and I didn't like being in a relationship that was feeling like it was slipping between my fingers. Right. It took too much emotional energy to feel like I had to be the ideal citizen for this man.
Right.
Because out of fear of losing him. That I don't want to feel that about anyone. And the fact that I felt that way was a reason enough for me to not need to be in a relationship anymore. And so, not to say that the breakup was mutual. I would have stayed in it and been anxious attached. I would have been anxious the whole way through, you know. Yeah. But I think definitely through that, I think God just like revealed some things to me about my emotional immaturity as someone who thought I was so emotionally mature. And then so I worked on that, and months later, literally as of last week, I was talking to my dad. Oh, and I'm celibate.
Okay.
So I was talking to this guy. Something happened, and the guy was ridiculous. But I was talking to my dad, and because I showed my dad a picture of this guy that I didn't like. Like I basically was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. And he was like, I don't like the way he looks. You can just tell by the way he looks. He's just not the person for you. He was like, do you know who I do like the look of? And he mentioned
your ex,
my ex that I was exclusive with, and I was like,
You said his name?
Huh? Yeah, he said his. Did I say his name?
Yeah.
Or did my dad say his name?
Did you just say his name right now?
No. My ex,
okay,
who I was exclusive with.
Oh, they're exclusive. Yeah. I thought it was.
And
sorry, I thought it was like an African name.
No, we're not. No,
I was like,
we're not. No, we're not name dropping.
I was like, did you mean to say that? Should I beep it out? But okay.
Yeah, this was like this month, a couple weeks ago, and so I text him.
Okay.
And I was just like, hey, you were on my mind today. Hope you're doing well. XX. And then I was like, he's not going to text back because he hates you. So,
anxious. That's yeah, that's your anxiety.
And I was like,
you that.
And that's fine. You just, there was nothing to lose.
Yeah.
He texted me back. He was like, I've been thinking of you too. I'm so happy to hear from you. I want to, have dinner or a phone call, whichever is best for you. And I was just like, what?
Like, okay.
I was like, what the heck is happening? What's happening?
Yeah.
Wow, he's thinking of me? That's crazy. We had a date the next day.
Okay.
It went very well.
Okay.
And he apologized. He said he didn't mean the things that he said. He basically was just like,
what did he say to you?
Basically, what did he even say? He was saying to me that he just didn't think we were compatible because I was kind of attached, and he needs someone that's a bit more independent. And because I told him, I was like, I just didn't.
I feel like you, I feel like you are independent. You
I think
just
I
were
was
anxiously attached. Maybe just didn't know the right words for it.
No, I think what happened at the time was that I was replacing what my job did for me, and I was putting it into him. I just didn't know. I was like, there was displacement of emotion and vigor, and
I get that.
I just didn't know how to I was figuring it out,
Yeah.
And that was really the only thing that was really good for me that moment. So I just wanted to hang on to it. And I did admit that to him, but he said, I always planned to come back. I just needed to do, and this was another big thing, that the day I hit him up, he just retook his test the day before.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was like, it's crazy that you hit me up because I just did my test yesterday, and he was like, are you here, bitch? And yeah, he told me at dinner that he always planned to hit me up and after, but he just really needed to lock in. He couldn't have any distractions. Yeah. And the dinner went really well. It was no time had passed. I like that he was man enough to apologize because he really didn't have to.
He was he held himself accountable.
Oh, for sure. He held himself accountable. He didn't. He thinks he. I was like, I just didn't, because I told him, I was like, I didn't think that you thought we were good together. He was like, I don't feel that. That's just, that was me being, almost trying to give myself an extra reason to not be in relationship with you anymore. And another cute thing that happened that day was we finished eating, and the waitress came over, and she was like, no rush, but just so, she was like, I don't know if you saw those guys sitting there, but they said you guys just look like such a beautiful couple, and they wanted to buy you dessert.
Oh my god!
I was like, am I in a movie? It's giving rom-com.
Yeah, you're like this.
We were on a rooftop in downtown LA. No, it wasn't Perch. And I was like, someone bought us dessert.
And meanwhile, it's me and an ex. Little did they know, they're really
literally,
they're really
the vibes were it was literally just so nice to catch up and to tell him everything. A part of me was like, I have two jobs. That's
really beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. The story is still being written. I'm not. Now that I know my attachment style is changing the way I'm approaching this.
Yeah.
Of course, not to say that it is gone, because it still shows up. But because I'm able to understand it, I'm able to identify it so I can talk myself down from it. When I didn't know what I was looking for or what it was, I couldn't,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I think that's like, first off, I apologize for not bringing it up to you because I feel like.
Yeah, you ruined my life. Thanks.
Not a good friend.
This is the real reason I didn't come on the podcast.
Right. Hilarious. But yeah, I mean, textbook, like, anxious attachment style. I mean, I think, like, I relate to that too. Yeah. But I think it's so good to, like, but I'm also, you know what? No, I'm glad that you discovered it yourself, versus, like, me telling you, because I think if I just threw out that word and, like, talked about it, you probably would have been like, and I probably have, honestly, and it was just kind of like, okay, cool.
Yeah, but you've mentioned it, but I didn't know that it was like, an actual theory.
A theory, yeah. Like, I think the way that, one, you were going through something, you were very emotional, and then ChatGPT, love AI, was able to just, like, present that to you. Like, I think that was just the perfect way to receive that message. Because I talk about it all the time. Like, oh, yeah, just that. But, like, yeah, like, this shit is an actual theory. It's, like, psychology. And it really does play a part. And, like, once you're, familiar with that, like, you just understand stuff better. Like, when I got diagnosed with ADHD, I felt like, if anything, like, I felt so relieved.
Yes.
Because I was consistently getting fired from jobs.
There's a reason behind
this.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, why was I never good at school? Like, why am I so messy? Why am I like this? And it's just like, I would just beat myself up and, like, just, like, make myself feel like shit because I wasn't the typical way that like, I'd see someone else do it so flawlessly,
right,
and be able to do it. And I'm like, why am I not? Because I me, I work hard, but to, like, put a label to it and then to, like, understand that, like, changes
the game. It changes the game, and that's not what it was for me. And so when I felt more ready to and also I think having a job and now having something to call my own, and building, having a better relationship with God and having my business and having, my other jobs, it's given me something else to focus on that's not just him. Yeah. So I think that balances the scale for both of us. Yeah. So even though I still get a anxious attachment, I'm more like, okay, this is your anxious attachment. This is not actually what's happening.
Yeah. And I also think too, like, it's also a lot of it, is self-work, but a lot of it is also the type of partner you're with.
100%.
Because, like, I even found myself sometimes, like, I've been in situations where I've been avoidant, Yeah. And I've been in situations where I've been super anxious. I think there's, like, you could kind of be a little bit of everything. Yeah. And I think sometimes certain people will trigger those certain parts of you.
100%.
But at the same time, it all stems from anxiety.
Yeah.
It's just the way that you react towards it. But when you're with the right person that you like, that makes you feel safe, and they're not fucking with you, they're not gaslighting you, they're not cheating on you, not doing all these things, like, it makes your nervous system calm down. And you're able to feel and be more conscious of, like, what's happening and be secure,
100%. And I think also the girl in me is also like, he didn't have to come back, like, he didn't. If he really didn't think you were compatible, like, if he didn't think it was kind of gratifying in a way to know that, like, someone has experienced life without you, and the first opportunity they got, they wanted you back into it, and that might be even toxic, but I like the idea of, I like that, because I think as someone who is anxious, the way it translates in my mind, as someone who is anxious and afraid of constantly losing you, and so trying to do things to keep you, it's nice to know that they indeed have lost you, but they chose you again. And like what I was saying in the beginning, like, I felt very chosen by him. I think this is like being chosen twice, and not like, I think, and I probably wouldn't use the word chosen anymore.
Because that could be kind of problematic too, to be like, thank you for choosing me, and it's like, bruh, no, like, you're lucky. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or not even like you're lucky, because it's not even about ego or whatever. It's just kind of like, I think what makes you a secure attachment style, or when you're living in that secure attachment style, is, this is what I realized even with myself, is when you're just like, at the end of the day, this will end somehow.
Yes.
Whether you lose someone to death or you break up. So you have to be okay with the fact that, like, you know, that, like, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I remember thinking when I first was dating Brian that I was like, if he just decides to leave me, fine.
And that's how I probably...
Obviously, I'd be sad, but I'd be like, I'm fine.
That's probably why this one with him is probably a bit more digestible, because I literally I wasn't depressed over this man for more than 24 hours.
Right.
I even got to the point like, did I like him for it? That's another thing I want to talk about. But I think what made me realize I kind of do like this man is that I never had a bitter feeling about him. Like, I never felt resentment towards him. And I never, when you look back and you're like, dang, like, he did that. And I had my rose petal glasses on, but now I'm seeing clearer. Like, that's crazy that he did that. There was never that moment with him. He's a great guy. Whether we work out or not, he's a great guy.
Because you break up with someone or something doesn't work out, it doesn't take away that they're not a good, you know what I mean?
And I think knowing that I was okay, even though we did break up, makes it easier to not feel so attached, because it's like, I know for a fact, because it's happened, that I was okay without you. Right now, I'm choosing to be with you. I think in the beginning, it's like, you're choosing to be with me.
But like, I'm choosing you.
I'm choosing you.
That's what it is.
Yeah, because I don't have to.
Because you have to choose each other.
Yeah,
and it's not about, and it's like you have to choose the relationship, It's not about like, which guy is going to choose me, and then settle for whatever guy chooses you.
So if we decide to move forward, it's because we've experienced life together, we've experienced life apart, and we're both choosing to end. We're on equal ground. Whereas I kind of felt in the beginning that he kind of had subconsciously, he had a one up on me, because I felt like, in my mind, obviously delusional, like, I wanted this more. Like, I want to be in a relationship. Like, and you're an ideal person for me. And so I'm kind of craving this.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like he had more power, because he didn't make me feel like that. I would make myself feel like that.
Yeah.
But being able to separate myself from it, the idea of something. But now, like, I'm back to earth. I now know my attachment style. I'm now more spiritually strong and equipped. I'm mentally better. Because it was hard. Like, these last few months have been very trying.
I think it was important, because I think like a lot of us, we find our self-worth so much in job, relationships,
100%,
and just being chosen, right?
Yes.
Like being chosen for a job and for an interview, being chosen by a man. Like, I think that we put so much of our value in that.
Yes.
That when it's stripped away, you're like,
and then that time off when I was not on the pod, like, since him, I hadn't been in a relationship. I didn't go on any dates. When I say silo, I was not looking to any man for anything. I was looking to God to fulfill those things, because I never also, as much as I didn't want to, I started my business because I didn't want to have to rely always on a job to feel value. I also didn't want to rely on a man to also feel value. Right. So, like, this journey was me trying to find myself and being, like, good enough for me alone.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got to that, and I can honestly say, like, I got to this point that we're a happy point that I am now, through not, and I didn't grasp at anything to try and fulfill that. It was literally doing, like, inner work and stuff. So
yeah. Well,
and then everything good came after. Like, good things, everything always works out. Like, it's just a matter of, it really truly is a matter of time.
For sure. And just things aligning when it's supposed to. And also, like, using those moments to, like, work on yourself. I think that that's big, that, like, that you did that. You studied something and you were able to like see yourself in this, and you were like educating on yourself on it, and then I'm sure that like just made you feel like you weren't crazy. Yes. You know,
it literally
and like the
did.
validation from that was actually with the validation that you needed, not 100%. From a man, not from a job,
from science, bitch,
from like, but from you. You know what I mean? And like, and psychology, and understand that like, oh, that's why I do that. You know, So like I'm proud of you, and I think that's very special.
And then an epiphany I got while I was in this journey was, I don't really like these niggas for real.
Sometimes, yeah,
I don't really like these niggas for real. I like the idea of a man liking me. I didn't consider, do you like this nigga for real? I say this because, I have a platonic male friend now too. Kind of this go. Cut this out. This is good. He's a healthy version of. He's what should have been.
Okay. Yeah.
I met a guy on Hinge. His name was Ventress. Shout out to Ventress. We went on a date. It was great first date, and it was crazy because we went to this taco place around where I live, which I never really go out where I live. And I was there. We were on our date talking. And I look up and I see this woman with curly hair, and I'm like, that hair looks so familiar. Why is it my mother? Aww. My mother is there, like picking up tacos. I'm like, and I walk up to her. I'm like, what are you doing here? So Venture was like, kind of met my mom on our first date. Hilarious,
right?
But
that's so funny.
Isn't that hilarious? We soon realized that he's not really looking for what I'm looking for, and I'm not looking for what he's not really, he's in a, but we had, when I say this is the best relationship, this man is funny, he's kind, we talk business, we talk about life, right. We laugh, we talk all day, like text all day, every day, not in a romantic sense, but like a homie sense, like right. If I have an idea, like I run it past him, like we cultivated such a beautiful relationship, and this was like my first test at a platonic male relationship, and we were very.
You can't have like before, like you weren't really the type to be in platonic
at all.
Dang,
at all. And it not only was it platonic, it started off like in a romantic sense.
Yeah.
Because
I know, because it's like, yeah. Never mind.
Go ahead.
Because I was thinking about like our platonic guy friends. I was like, you've hooked up with them.
Who? He's the only one. Who?
Beep this out.
I didn't mess. Oh, I did.
Yeah,
wow,
but like, yeah.
God, he kept me from that. I don't like these niggas for real. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't like these niggas for real. Like,
you just like the attention.
I like the attention, I like the. I just don't. And how can you like these niggas?
You'll flirt for the attention because it feeds your ego.
Well, not even. I don't think it's attention more than I don't want to miss my person.
Okay.
And a lot of the times,
you take the opportunity when it comes.
Yeah, like, and also I give the energy that is given to me. Like, if I'm meeting you on a dating website, we're going with this with the intent. Like, my dating profile literally says, "Bitch, I'm trying to get married." But I say all the things to say about I have a platonic relationship with him. But and then we developed a friendship. I wouldn't necessarily. I love this man. I love him. I don't think we'll be compatible as partners.
And that's good to recognize that and not look at every man that comes your way as an opportunity to see them as your husband. Because that's what who you were. Me. Like, you were literally like, this could be my future husband. Let me flirt. Let me bat my eyes. Let me feed into the energy they're giving.
I'm like, I have to.
But you really actually get to know them and see them, like, because the old Jess, or even Jess last year, meaning this platonic friend, you probably would have just been like, we get along great, the conversations are good, this is my husband, like, let's
Steph,
yes,
this narrative,
yes.
When have I ever lately, in the last 5 years, in the last 3 years, when have I said someone's gonna be my husband?
All the time.
Name them. What's that's a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Name them. I
don't know if you want me to name them. That's why.
Name them.
George.
That wasn't the last 5 years. 3 years.
That was.
I haven't been with George. I haven't been with George since we lived together. Even before we lived together.
Okay, that was 4 years ago.
That was
3 years ago. That was 3 years ago.
That was like in
I don't. The last 5 years to me are all 1 year.
George was years ago. That was like when we were living.
But also like
in our first house together. That's how far George was.
I feel like I've just heard you say it a good amount of times.
After George, I haven't.
Maybe it wasn't every man within the last couple of years. Okay, I'll give you that.
A lot has happened.
However, you would use that word quite a lot.
Yeah, back in the day. Back in the day, I did. Yeah,
but like
I've changed.
Yeah, which I'm saying that I'm trying to like recognize the growth here because I know that this is not who you are now, but the thing is though, like maybe I mean this in the nicest way possible. Yeah. I mean as your friend, that's not normal. Like even if it was before, like and I think maybe it's like 100%. A culture thing. You know what I mean? So like. Or I don't know, like I feel like, or not even just like you saying this is my husband, but like we've talked about this before, like you date for marriage.
Yeah.
You know, you get to know men for marriage versus like just getting to know them and actually see, if you like them for real.
And because the way the way I was raised, I think the idea of dating is new generation for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You know, I see that.
I think a lot of in American culture, it's normal to date around, have multiple boyfriends, and find the one. In some American cultures, and for some people, not in America. In America, dating is normalized. Modern day. In like Africa, I was raised in Ghana. I'm Jamaican. That doesn't really like. It's different. Like you date one person or you date two people. Like if you're dating in your 20s, majority of the time you're going to marry this person. That's what we've been raised around. And as a Christian, there's the not boundary, but as Christians, not having sex before marriage. So, there's incentive to get married so you can have sex.
Right.
There are just, and in the Bible, it's not that. The Bible talks about marriage, the sacred for marriage being sacred, and that's what our end goal always is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I also was like that. Yeah. I mean, I think that like I grew up thinking that that's what the goal was, but not even just the goal, but like how people moved. Like even if it wasn't for marriage, like I wouldn't even say for marriage. It would be like, to like love them and to be with them, you know? Like I just thought like commitment was something that was like super regular and like obtainable or whatever, you know, and easy. But I feel like I still had that kind of wholesome mentality, but what changed it is, I mean, because I had a boyfriend for 5 years. And then at 21, 22, 23 or something like that, that's when dating apps really started to become like popularized. Like this was like, I was like hiding in folders on my phone. Like it was like very new, you know? But because I went on these dating apps was when I was really exposed to like, people are casually dating. Like you don't just... Like, Davion was the perfect example. Like, he was my first date on Tinder, and I was like, I really like this man. Did I even know him? No, but, like, I liked him. I thought he was hot. We had good banter. And to me, I'm like, okay, then the next step is, like, to be in a serious relationship. Like, that's what you do if you really like someone. You get along with them, right? And you're having sex. Of course they love me, you know? And it's, like, such a wholesome, like, mentality. And I also think that, like... I think definitely your culture, you know, it plays a part, but I think religion, and I also think it's like, again, it's a new age thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a lot more like, I think it was always been there, but now it's a lot more popularized. It's a lot more like people are a lot more open about it, you know?
And that's why, like, I think marriage is still the goal, but the idea that I think there's a couple of things that happen. You start to realize that you're actually unhealthy emotionally. You need to work on yourself. I think that's what I was telling myself. Like, there's so many things you need to work on. And even as of this year, like, there's things I had to, like, figure out, you know. But you don't know what you don't know, you know. So I didn't know about my anxious attachment style. And so
it wasn't talked about. You're not being taught
you're
that.
learning,
you're just like,
you know.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you're supposed to go to college, get a good job, and then you'll get married, find the person.
Exactly.
But they don't ever talk about like, yo, work on yourself because you have to come correct when you should be in a good
they don't
marriage.
even say it may not work
even
like
be said.
It may not work like this. It may not your life may there are some people that meet someone, get married and have children.
Sure.
It may also not work out that way. Do not think that you're the problem if it doesn't. You know?
Yes. I think this is also like across the board.
Yeah.
A society thing, because here we are like two people from like different worlds and different cultures and different upbringings, right? And yet we still have experienced that same feeling. And I think it's because the common denominator of that is being a woman.
Yes.
You know, like we've been told like what makes us worthy to be wifed up is to be this archetype of a woman and to feel chosen. And that's what makes you feel like you're worthy of it. Yeah. So when we are not being chosen and we're out here having casual sex, dating, and then like falling in love, and they're like, never mind, and anxious attachment style to avoidant attachment style, and like all these things, it just like it weighs on your self-esteem, and you just think like, damn, am I not fucking worth it? Am I like, why can't y'all just fucking pick me?
And it's crazy, because in the book it talks about like how anxious attachment styles gravitate towards avoidant attachment. That's what, and so like I was just looking for any nigga. At the end of the day, like I wasn't able to. I think now I'm like, after a conversation, I can be like, oh, you're avoidant. Probably not the one for me. Yeah. You know, before I met Asina, like, oh, you've just gone through things, you know.
Making excuses. Gaslight yourself to think
that you can fix things and that you'll be the one that will make it better. Right. And you'll be, no, you need therapy, my nigga. Like sorry, let me stop saying the N-word so much. Like, you need therapy, man. You need therapy. Man. You need therapy. You need therapy. You need therapy. Okay.
Broco therapy.
Broco therapy.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all just need to go to therapy.
Like, so now when I'm looking at men, I think I finally feel like, as much as I'm coming to the interview, you're coming to the interview too. And I've lost a lot. And I'm at a point where it's like, I literally feel like I'm starting from scratch again. And so what I'm building is something that's more precious to me. I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
And not only that, but I have, like, I was talking to this guy. Talking to this guy. I met him on Hinge. I thought he was great because he was a pastor, a deacon at a church. He had a decent job. He was good looking. But then I told him and then we had a conversation over FaceTime. It was great conversation. First red flag, which I would have glossed over before. He was like, yeah, I just find it hard to like trust people a lot. And so I was just like, okay, tell me more. And he was like, well, you know, I've just been through some really rough things in the past with other people taking advantage of me. So, you know, basically like, I'm a slow burn. I was like, okay, that's cool. Then I asked him, like, what's your relationship stages? So he said to me, like, okay, well, first we date. Then we become exclusive. After we become exclusive, we become boyfriend and girlfriend. After we become boyfriend and girlfriend, then we get engaged and then blase, blase, blase. And he was saying that basically he wants to take not tests, but he wants to get to know someone in their entirety before he moves forward. And I was like, well, one, people are forever changing, so that's an unrealistic expectation. Two, you're not doing it out of logic. You're really just trying to test someone to see how
much they would fight for you or whatever, you know.
And I was just like, and then I said to him, have you been to therapy? And he was like, no. And then I was like, I said to him, you know what I feel like we're in? I was like, I feel like this is a game of Jenga. We have the whole thing built, and each question we're taking a piece out. And I was like, and I feel like it's kind of shaky right now. And then I asked him this last question. Now I was just like, this is a deacon in the church, you know. So I was like, okay. So I was like, are you sexually active in relationships? And he was like, yeah, I am. I was like, okay. And he was like, what about you? Like, and I was like, I'm celibate. And he was like, okay. I was like, is that a deal breaker for you? And he was like, yeah, it is.
Interesting.
And I was like, huh. So for me, it was like, I thought that the one person I could rely on to honor my celibacy was someone that was in the church.
That's why I think like they could have like on paper the surface level things, right? Because again, checking off the list. But when we get to know someone and we date them, it's like beyond their fucking job.
Yeah.
And even their fucking religion,
yes.
honestly.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, but how do you handle conflict?
Yes.
How do you handle your emotions? Like, how do you communicate those emotions, you know? Because I think it's good that you, like, educate yourself on, like, the attachment theory.
I was like, he's
like,
clearly avoidant.
Yeah, and then you just start, like, noticing everything.
Yes.
Like, I remember when Morgan and I broke up, I started nerding out over like what narcissism is and like attachment theory and like gaslighting. Like when I tell you, y'all, I was reading up all over there watching like therapist YouTube videos because like although we've heard the words before and people throw it around, but it's like to actually know what that means and to experience someone like that, I was like, damn, this makes sense.
You could save yourself so much
like, time.
The old Jessica would have entertained this man because in theory he's great.
Right. In theory.
But then I was like, you have the red flags are red flagging, man,
sir.
The red flags are red flagging. And we ended it there. I was like, and he was like, so what do we do now? I was like, honestly, there's a deal breaker. So if it's a deal breaker for you, then
I'm not your cup of tea.
And that was the guy that my dad looked at and was like,
oh really? Yeah. See, dads know. Dads really know.
They do. But that's what made me have trust in. That's what made me have, because my dad doesn't remember people's names. My dad doesn't really like many people. But for some,
I love your dad.
As in men for me.
Yeah. Of course, as he should. He's not gonna just like welcome all them.
Yeah, he does not see it from, and he definitely doesn't. So the fact that he kind of brought that up is that gave me that encouragement. So
right.
But we'll see. Maybe I'll have an update for you next time I'm back.
Yeah, I mean you have to come back more because I feel like you need to make up for lost time.
That's crazy.
However, okay, so we now know, you know, your attachment style.
Yeah.
And it seems like you've like educated yourself on it. You're clocking it with dudes that you meet.
Period.
But I kind of want to know, like, where did your attachment style come from? Because that's real too.
These niggas.
Okay. I mean, we've talked about on the show, like, and again, I said this to you earlier because I was with your family and you for your birthday yesterday. And I was like, dang, I love your parents. And like, granted, I don't know what it's like to have them as parents. I don't know their relationship. But I just really like, just from what I see, like, I really love their dynamic and like how sweet and funny they are. You know what I mean? And like how they treat you and stuff like that. And I feel like from everything you've told me, they're great parents. And it seems like they're a solid fucking married couple, which is rare to see. Yeah. You know? So like, because a lot of us are traumatized by our parents. And that's like the biggest thing that like gets us there. But where did you first feel your anxious attachment style? Like, what's your earliest memory of feeling that way?
It was probably when I was 15.
Okay.
There was a guy I really liked. And this went on with this guy for years, like from 15 into college.
Oh, dang.
First year of college. There was a guy I really liked. And I never felt like, he was older than me, a lot older than me.
Okay.
But we never dated, obviously. Never, because I was 15. I think we really started developing a more emotional relationship like years later. But I always felt like I wasn't mature enough for him. I wasn't like, because I wasn't, I was 15.
You were.
I was, I was just like, I just want this man to love me. I love him so much. And if he just
How much older was he than you?
It wasn't that much. It was probably like 17, 18.
Yeah.
but he was always like, you're just too young, which I was. Yeah. But in my mind, it came as something I had to like overcome. And I think that was the first time like I felt anxious. And it went on for years into college. Eventually we had a kind of a toxic relationship.
Did you date this guy a few years ago? No. Yeah, no. Okay. You dated somebody who was like from your, I don't know. I'd be confused.
Oh, no, sure. Edmund. I love him. No, he's great.
Beep his name out? It's fine.
No, he can keep it.
Is that the one that like...
No, the one I'm talking about is the one. Yes, I got him.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
he was horrible.
You did date him later. Oh, no.
Yeah, I dated him in college.
Okay. Continue.
That's the one that... So that was from 15 going on to then. Wow. And I still felt like I wasn't good enough for him. And then I started drinking heavily. And then that just took me back. You know, that made everything else worse. The anxiety more. Yeah. And then it was like trying to chase guys to feel love. And then it just was like
snowballed from there.
Just literally snowballed, and not really understanding myself, my emotions, therapy not being normalized, talking about your feelings deeply.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen someone really go through what I'm going through.
I was going to say, I was like, your peers, the people around you are probably never been through it or going through the same thing with you.
Yeah.
So, like, who was that example, you know? And like, I think that's most of us at that age. Like
you were the first person that I've met that that exposed me to life. Like, love life. Aww. Yeah, for sure. To this day, like, I don't talk about my love life like with anyone like I talk to you.
Yeah.
Because you see things because I have my bestie Kirsten. She's amazing. But we have the same mentality. We have the same mentality. We see things the same. We have, you know, things are black and white.
Sometimes when it's the same, it's like it's actually like.
But you have such a different perspective, which actually does make me see the reality of
the situation
and another angle of it, which everyone in my, like, other people probably wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, because it's also like you guys view relationships and love and dating the same way, which is great and beautiful. Yeah, and whatever, you know.
And like, a lot of times it's from the lens of religion, and honestly, sometimes we don't need that lens.
Right. Sometimes you kind of like, and it's good to have God and spirituality. Like, I think that's a very powerful tool that I respect and love.
Because Andrew's attachment style is not in the Bible.
No, that's the thing. It's like, but it's almost kind of like what they say, right? Where you could like pray or manifest whatever like verbiage you want to use, like all the things that you want in your life. But if you can't just sit back and wait for it, like you actually have to get up and do something. Yeah. So similar with like dating and relationships, it's like, you know, you could like rely on God or whatever, love to just like find itself. But it's like, it takes a lot of like self-reflection and
100%.
Having to recognize these patterns and being like, oh, and then understanding yourself and learning about yourself. Like, but I think that's why, like, you know, the title of the show, Broken Therapy, and we talk about dating and stuff. It's because it's not just about like, hee ha, I'm dating this guy, but it's like when you date and you fall in love and you fall out of love, it's like, it's so much reflection on yourself. And it's very therapeutic to go through something like that and to learn, you know?
It's the same way, like, you being a Christian doesn't just, like just say I'm a Christian doesn't make you a Christian.
Right.
It doesn't make, like, you have to put in work. The same way as, like, and that's the same thing, like, as a woman in the 21st century dating in 2025, just being like, I'm just a girl dating and everything is the man's fault isn't going to help you. Like, you have to invest in it. Like, why are you the way you are? Like,
exactly.
Read books, talk to people that are different from you and have different experiences.
Yeah, because I also think there's something called, and I might offend some people, and I'm sorry. You know, no, because I don't think it's like, because I think it's real. Yeah, you'll clean it up. But I think there's something that is not talked about, and that's spiritual narcissism.
100.
You know what I mean? Because that's what makes me like respect you so much. You know, because like for me, like I like to call myself spiritual, but I'm not religious. I don't, you know, I don't read the Bible. I don't go to church. I don't do like the things that you practice. You know, however, like the way that I'm able to like still sit here and respect you and not
100%.
ever like make you feel, is because one, you don't ever make me feel that way. But two, like you're not a spiritual narcissist. Right. There's a lot of times, and I have a good amount of people in my life that are like this, where they rely on God so much to the point that it's not even like a spiritual thing. It's like a thing. It's like a narcissist thing. It's a self thing. It's like a self thing, and it's almost like it's almost like they
use it as a weapon.
They use it as a weapon, but they also use it in a way that they perceive themselves as almost godlike.
Yes, 100%.
Where it's like, yeah, God got me. Like, this ain't gonna happen to me. Like, I don't have to worry about that. It's like, okay, to a certain extent, I get that. However, what makes you feel like you're better than any of us?
That's what made me.
Like like you're still human too. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna die. You're gonna get COVID. You're gonna lose your job. You're gonna go through all the same things as we all go through as humans. Well, what makes you so godlike? So I think I don't know where we're going with that, but I just think that like that's the type of like spirituality, religious people that sometimes I'm like, it's not even about your religion at this point. It's just like spiritual narcissism.
The thing about it is, it's not about religion, and it's not about religion. It's not about Christianity. It's about you as a person, because truly, like, those are just titles. I just told a story about a deacon of a church that wanted a deal breaker for me to be celibate. Right. That does not make sense. And it's like, it doesn't. For track. Me, it was like, I wouldn't mind. It's not even the fact that he has sex. For me, that's not the issue, that he has sex. It wasn't the issue. The issue for me was that you're saying you're a Christian. You're meeting someone that is, I'm not saying, like, for me, it would have been better if he was like, I'm not on that walk right now, but that's where I want to be. And you being celibate is encouraging to me. So I will be interested to try and figure that out with you, you know, right, at least having some openness to the idea, but it being a deal breaker for you and not something as an encouragement. So that's to say, like, you saying you're a Christian is like, I don't care. I don't care about that. Anyone can be a Christian, but what are you as a person who is like, that's just a title, but does it reflect in your life, in the way you are? Like, are you a kind person? Like, are you nice to the waitress? Do you hold the door open for someone else? Like, what's your heart posture? That's what makes someone a Christian. I could care less what you call yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's what, like, the difference between, people like you, where it's like you know, I think you're such a beautiful example of that, and also like someone who is a spiritual narcissist, because to me, like, I look at that guy as kind of like, oh, so you're just a fuckboy with a religious disguise. Because the thing about narcissism is about showing off. It's about like putting it on type of thing. It's like a caricature almost, because you want the attention, you want to be viewed a certain way. And so I feel like, with religion, because it's all about love and, all the stuff that it's supposed to be about, people use it to like, as like a way to show, like, I'm a good person. I'm such a good person. But in reality, it's like, oh no, you actually objectify women, because here I am being like, I'm respecting myself, and I do not want to have sex right now because I want to save that for the right person until marriage, whatever. And it's to a point where it's a deal breaker. You're objectifying women.
Yes, 100%.
That does not, like, that just.
And then the thing of him not wanting of the testing, as Christians, like, you believe, like, for me, I truly believe, like, if I pray and ask God, like, is this my husband? And I get confirmation that I trust that God's going to give me that sign. So you as a Christian, like, you thinking that you have to take me through the ringer for me to prove myself to you, that already shows flaws not only in you as a Christian, but you and as a human being, because it's never going to be enough. Like, I can be kind to you for 3 years. I can be a certain way for 3 years. I can be a certain weight for 3 years. But what you're essentially saying to me is that, like, if I have a child and I put on weight, you may change, you may switch up because you haven't seen that version of me. There isn't a world when guys are just like, yeah, I just want to be engaged for 16 years because I just want to see every version of that person. That to me is just, you need therapy.
Yeah.
You need therapy.
I mean, also, like, as I'm thinking about it too, like, again, I don't know this man, so I don't want to assume certain things. So maybe I want to kind of like reel it back and kind of play like a devil's advocate and just kind of strip away. I understand sex being like something that is a deal breaker because intimacy 100%. Is very important. But no, yeah, like, but then why present yourself as like this godlike deacon of the church?
Exactly. Again,
and I feel like
I've dated people
where they tell you to be celibate. Like,
the problem is not that is a deal breaker for him. It's the way, because for context, on my Hinge, it has like, you know, in the prompts or whatever, what are you looking for? And I'm like, I need someone that's God fearing. He liked a picture of me worshiping. He then, the conversation that he starts it off with is him being a pastor's kid, us relating about that, us talking about church. So you're leading in a way that is like, it's almost like, I know, it's almost like bait in a way. Right, yeah. He used it as bait.
Because he's a spiritual narcissist.
Yeah, like he used it as bait, and then he got, you know, my number, we started talking, but now, and then he also was like, yeah, I just want to have a conversation, so we're basically not wasting each other's time, which is absolutely fine. But yeah, you're just, it being a that shouldn't be a deal breaker for someone like who calls himself like you're a deacon of a church. Right. It's just like the same way you hold a president to a higher. Well, let me know. The same way you hold up. The same way you would say there's a teacher and there's students.
Yeah.
The teacher is one of the leaders in the classroom, so you have a certain level of expectation for the teacher than you do for the students. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, I have an expectation for a deacon of a church. I don't hold him in the same esteem. Like, obviously you respect everyone on the same level, but you expect someone like that to be more spiritually evolved and, you know.
1,000%.
But yeah, so
he ain't shit.
Listen,
that's a spiritual.
He just a nigga
in disguise as a deacon.
So watch out for these men because it's really not about being a Christian, and it's really not about you going to church every day of the week. Like, you can be doing all that and still just be like Joe Schmo who is treating women anyway. But literally,
still beating your kids and your wife.
Going to church doesn't make you a nice person. So sorry.
It doesn't make you a nice person. Yeah. Before we wrap up, I do want to say, I asked you about the first time you felt like anxiously attached, and I guess I just want to like reflect on that as I kind of put this all in full circle. Oh. Is that like, that makes sense, and I think it looks like that guy was your first love, and I think,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like that looks like that was your first love. That really like set the tone to how you move, because again, I think that like we could move on from people, but we don't necessarily move on from the trauma. I think we were talking about this earlier about homeboy off air, but like, yeah, you could move on from a relationship, but we always carry what we learned from it. So what healing looks like is how I'm taking it now, and like articulating is, again, like not healing just from like the love from the person or whatever, that's one thing, but to like heal from the trauma that brought you. So like if we were able to go back in time and let's say
about the domino effect.
Yeah, like the domino effect of that. Like if you would have, and you know, everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad that you are here, you are today. So, you know, thank you for your traumas. God is here.
Thank you to my traumas.
However, like, you know, in hindsight, I think moving forward, if like something like that ever happens, like you could stop it. You know, like imagine if Jess back then was like, no, I'm not going to choose that path of like deciding to do that. Like I know who the fuck I am. Yeah. Like having that confidence instilled in you already, that would have like changed the
game.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I
wouldn't be who I am.
Exactly. It like there's
educating you hope.
Right, educating you host, but also like there's beauty and power in all of that, because I think that makes you honestly a very beautiful and funny person. It gives you character.
You think I'm funny?
I think you're hilarious.
Really?
I think people like who have been
It's so funny. Rose literally DM'd me today and she was like, I think you make me laugh. And I was like,
oh,
honestly,
compliment
from the writer extraordinaire,
right?
Thinks I'm funny. Stop it. I'm obsessed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, trauma makes people funny.
Honestly.
And like, I think it's good to like go through a little bit of it to like grow, but also give some character. Yeah. So at the end of the day, thank you.
I have a lot of character from my bad experiences.
Exactly. Sure. So like this shit. So I
laugh at a lot of things. It's just like
yeah. At the end of the day, it's okay. We'll all be okay.
Honestly, that's
I'm just glad
the lesson of this podcast. If you take nothing else away, just know that everything will be okay.
Literally, clip that. You'll be okay. Okay, plug yourself.
Clock it.
This is the new thing now.
How do you feel about men clocking it? I've had a few men clock it to me.
I mean, it not? Are they not okay to do this and clock it? They were doing the hand motion to clock it.
No, they're doing clock it. Men be doing this now.
I feel like Love Island just made it, a thing. Ace. And the Ace's song made it a thing.
It was before Ace. First of all,
I know that's what Brian was saying. Like, did Gen Z just figure out what clock it means?
Literally. So the drag community, that's PC, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not gonna hold you.
I'm glad you asked though.
Thank you. The drag community.
Not that I am part of the drag community and should represent the
LGBTQIA,
the queer community.
They are trendsetters, and I feel like the clock it.
Oh, 1,000%
came from them, and then we be gentrifying it. But
right. Well, also a lot of the queer community be gentrifying black women too. But that's another conversation.
That's another conversation. I'm gonna give
drag
them
queens,
things like clock it. I'm so sorry it didn't come. Like it came from them.
Yeah,
I feel like it gives ballroom.
Yeah, and they also did a lot of the makeup that we do now.
There's contour, baby.
The drag queens taught us. Plug it.
Hi, thank you so much for listening. I'm back. You can follow me, j.clarke, on Instagram. Also, follow my charcuterie company, Winsacle Garden, everywhere, winsaclegarden.com.
Follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to brokegirltherapy.com. All that shit is there. I love you guys. Send some more emails.
Love ya. Can we do a question? I haven't done questions
next time. If you guys send your emails, I'll literally have Jess on as soon as you send them, and we will kiki and talk about it. Because no one's been sending them lately, but that's a different story. Love you guys. Bye.
Send them. Love you. Bye.
Send them. Broke girl therapy.